Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Haribo, Nishan Prabhu and Vihan Prabhu's ki jai.
They're all coming.
Then come to new. Please start, Babu. Start. Mahaprabhu ki. ISKCON Tampa Bhaktivinoda ki. So, Haribol, Ishan Prabhu, thank you so much for the wonderful kirtan. So now, as you know, we are doing deity installation ceremony as well. So, Ramya Prabhu, you want to say something about the deities, and we will just open their eyes in a couple of minutes. Prabhuji, kids class? Huh?
What am I saying about the
Kids class in 5 minutes, 5-7 minutes.
What? I have to give a class?
No. Just about like how the deities and Loknath Maharaj.
Oh, the name now? Not the name.
No. When we open the eyes, you're about to open the eyes to the deities. His Grace Bipul Prabhu and Sujaya Mataji have invited these wonderful deities at their home, and the Abhishek will continue. And just in 5-7 minutes, we have the kids program as well. But before that, we want to do the eye openings of this wonderful Gauranga and Nityananda deities, which we will be doing very shortly in just a matter of few minutes.
So here we are all gathered on this wonderful occasion because of the great devotion of Bipul Prabhu and his wife Sujaya.
Haribo!
They're very devoted to Nitai Gauranga and very much indulged in the Sankirtan mood, preaching almost everywhere. They have also even preaching in Bengali here, right?
Yes.
So this is the mood of Nityananda and Chaitanya. They go freely to every house and every village. And they, have to go back.
Yes, so everyone can see you. Yes, you can also stand.
Can you hear me with this
Yes.
on, or do you have to take it off? Okay.
Give a thumbs up if the sound is good. Can you hear? Okay, everyone can hear. Give a thumbs up now when Ramya Prabhu speaks, okay? Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Who is saying?
Devotees.
So Nityananda and Chaitanya, they are brothers that are there in Bengal, in Navadvip, and they love to have this Sankirtan, chanting of the holy names in the streets, in the houses. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took a tour of all of India. And when people would hear him chanting, thousands and thousands of people would join in the chanting. And sometimes the chanting would get so tumultuous that the sound would reach up to the heavenly planets, correct, the top of the universe. So this is, we are so very fortunate here to have this opportunity to be here for this very auspicious occasion that, Bipul and his wife Sujaya want to serve Sri Nitai Gauranga so personally. And there was one devotee, very close devotee of Lord Chaitanya, and the Lord made arrangement that they would have deities of themselves, Nitai Gauranga, that were carved in their likeness. And so they let this devotee, Hridaya Chaitanya, I believe was his name, and he was worshiping these deities of Nitai Gauranga every day. And then Nitai Gauranga came to his house and they had its tremendous kirtan. And while they were dancing, the deities came off the altar, and Chaitanya and Nityananda went back on the altar and became the deities. And this kept going back and forth so many times that finally Hridaya Chaitanya couldn't tell which was the real Chaitanya and which was the deity. And this was all simply to demonstrate to Hridaya Chaitanya there was no difference between the deity form and the actual form of Sri Nitai Gauranga. So Nitai Gauranga, they're very much interested in hearing the holy name. Does anyone know how many rounds they would chant in a day? Lord Chaitanya.
24/7.
Huh?
24/7.
Now, how many rounds?
He wants to tell.
194.
Huh?
194.
194.
That sounds like a good number. Can you chant that much? It's very difficult.
Even in
You
this.
would have to do, you would have to give up school, have to give up eating,
You have school sometimes.
and probably have to even give up sleeping to chant so much.
Hare Krishna,
It'd be
Hare
a great
Krishna,
opportunity.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Huh?
Now we'll open their eyes.
Oh, I have to put this back on.
You can, and then Prabhuji will announce their beautiful names, and then everyone will say Jai. Everyone ready?
And they say the name also.
Yes.
I bet- I
Hare
bet they
Krishna,
got
Hare
the-
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Jai Jai Shri
DOyal,
DOyal Nitai
Gaur
Gaur
Chandra.
Chandra. So these names were given by Lokanath Swami at the request of Bipul Prabhuji and his good wife. So they're very special, isn't it? Yeah.
Now the Lord wants to see the best object. What is the best thing in the world?
Himself.
Himself. So he will see himself in the mirror. And then he also likes to see the gopis. Where are the gopis? Gopis are on his train.
Two gopis have just arrived.
Please come in the front of the Lordships and chant, keep chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nimai, careful.
And the beautiful Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The audience also there. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai, Gaura Chandra, 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 Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Shri DOyal Nitai Gaur Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Nitai Chaitanya, DOyal Nitai Gaur Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Gaur Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. Gaur Purnima Mahamotsav ki Jai. Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Patita Pavana Gaur Hari.
Now Karthik Prabhu will coordinate the kids program for everyone. So Karthik Prabhu, please take over.
Where is he?
He's
Oh,
on.
he's on the entrance.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare. All the kids go into the
Prabhuji, would you like to mute? Hare Krishna, everybody. Wish you all a very happy Gaur Purnima.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hari Bol.
Happy Gaur Purnima. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Sai Lalita.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, is that Twisha?
Yeah.
Hari Bol. Okay. So it looks like you all are ready to recite the sloka or narrate a pastime. So who wants to get started? Is it going to be Twisha or Sai Lalita or Karina? Okay, Sai Lalita, okay, we'll give Sai Lalita a chance. Okay, as we always do, before we start off, we'll say 3 times loudly. Okay, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki
Jai.
Okay, so Karina, please go ahead. Are you going to do Kirtan or Bhajan?
Sloka Prabhuji.
Shloka? Okay, please go ahead.
Namo Mahavranyaya Krishna Prema Parate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratashe Namah. Prabhuji, can I say the translation?
Sure.
O most magnificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani. You are widely distributing pure love for Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
nice.
Karina. Thank you very much. I request all the devotees who are joining online to please, come online, remove. I would request you all to show yourself, so that way we all feel motivated, and especially the kids feel motivated. Thank you.
Yeah, please turn on your camera, devotees.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Thanks for joining. Okay, and who is next? I think Twisha said that she's going to. Are you going to narrate a pastime or are you going to do a bhajan, Twisha?
A sloka.
A shloka? Okay, please go ahead.
Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyudhanam dharmasya tadatmanam sajamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammoha smriti vibhrama, smriti vibhrashad buddhinasho, buddhinashat pranarshati. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, wonderful,
Vivo.
wonderful. Okay, I'm sorry, Sai Lalita. I think we thought of starting ahead with you, but I missed calling you. But thank you very much, Twisha. That was so wonderful. Okay, we'll go. Yeah, please. Do you have something to add?
I have another shloka.
Sure, please go ahead.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Hari Bol, wonderful, wonderful. Are those little Krishna and little Radharani behind you?
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, they're dolls. I got them.
Yes, they're
So
so
where
pretty.
you got it?
My friend gave them when I was visiting India.
Wow,
Beautiful.
nice. Can you show everyone? Bring your Radha Krishna in front of the camera and show everyone. Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing to us.
Okay, so we'll go ahead with Sai Lalita.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My name is Sailita, and I'm going to tell the bhajan. Jiva jago, Gaura Chandra bole. Jiva jago, Gaura Chandra bole. Kota nidra javu maya, pisachera khole.
Very good. Very nice, Sai Lalita.
Very nice.
Wonderful.
Of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Oh, yes, I saw that picture. You did wonderful coloring. Do you remember anything about this pastime, Sai Lalita?
Yeah.
Can you tell a little bit about what that pastime was?
The two thieves take Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, they were taking away Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with an intention.
And they didn't know where was their house.
Yes, you know, by the Maya, they actually, instead of taking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or little Nimai to their place, they instead took him to his own place. Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, that's great. Anything that you would like to add, Sai Lalita?
Yeah. And then they put little Nimai down, and then little Nimai ran away to his home.
Yes.
And then the two thieves ran away because they don't want to catch it.
Yes, they were scared of Nimai's parents and relatives catching them. Wonderful.
Because they're going to tell.
Yes. Thank you, Sai Lalita. That was so nice. That was so wonderful.
Thank you.
Haribol, thank you very much. Okay, so are there any other kids who would like to either do a kirtan or want to narrate a pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Prabhuji, I would like to narrate a pastime about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well as the sloka.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Gauratashe Namaha. And I also want to sing the song Jiva Jago. Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago, Gaura Chanda Bole, Kota Nidra Javo Maya, Pisachi Rakole. बजी बो बोलिया ऐसे संसार बितरे बुलिया रोहिले तुनी अविद्यार बारे. Thank you, Prabhuji. And I want to show a picture about Nityananda's footprints when I was young. Like here, I did this when I was young. And
Wonderful.
Haribol, Krishna.
Haribol, that was so amazing. Krishna.
And the story is Nimai's footprints.
Okay, Tejas Krishna Prabhu, I actually want to play a video of that same pastime. Okay? The footprints of little Krishna, I'm going to play a video of that. So I don't want you to reveal the pastime.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you very much. So,
Thank you.
Haribol, and okay, is it Vinayak Prabhu or Viraj Prabhu? I'm confused on the.
Vinayak Prabhuji. Mataji, can I start the kirtan?
Oh, that's Vinayak Prabhu.
Prabhuji, may I please do a kirtan?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Nimai.
Please remember, we also have a Kahoot. So please make sure that you're bringing your devices in the meantime.
May I start, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Gauranga balite habe pulaka sarira হরি হরি বলিতে নয়নে ভাবিনে আর কাবে নিতাই চন্দ্রে করুণা হইবে সংসার বাসনা কবে তুচ্ছ হবে বিষয় চরিয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন কবে হাম হে রাব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন রূপ রঘুনাথ পাদে হইবে অকুটি কবে হাম বুঝব সে যুগলা প্রীতি রূপ রঘুনাথ পদে প্রভু মোর আশা সদা গুরুয়ে সদা নরোত্তম দাস। Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very bold. Such a wonderful voice, Vinayak Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
All our
Krishna.
kids are wonderful.
Yes.
We
Okay.
are proud to have you all.
Yes, Mataji. Rama Prabhu, are you going to sing a kirtan or a sloka?
I want to say Jiva Jago and show my coloring.
Okay, you want to show your coloring as well? Okay, wonderful. Please go ahead.
I just Kushi has
Yeah, Kushi has Prabhuji. Kushi wants to say. Go, Kushi.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I would like to say the Jiva Jago. Jiva Jago, Jiva Jago, Gaura Chanda Bole, Kotane Rajao Maya, Visachera Bole, Bhajibo Bole Aise, संसार भीतरे भूलिया रहिले तुमी अविद्यार भारे तुम्हारे लइते आमी हईन अवतार आमी बिना बंधु आरो के आछे तुम्हारा एनेची औषधि माया नसीबार लागी हरि नाम महामंत्र लाओ तुमी मागी भक्ति विनोदा प्रभु चरणे परिया से हरि नाम मंत्र लैला मगिया। Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very bold. Thank you very much, Krishna. That was so wonderful.
Prabhuji, you want to take darshan or
Arati.
Arati?
Harati, is Harati going on? Okay, thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Make it fast. We have Kaput also. Okay, Rama. Go.
Yes, yes. Rama Prabhu, please go ahead.
Namo Shivaya. Namo.
नमो विष्णुपादाय विश्वविष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने जीव जागो कोरा चंद्र बोले कोटोने दजाओ माया पिस्ताचिर कोले बजीबो बोलिया ऐसे संसार बदले बोलिया
Very bold. Wonderful, Rama Prabhu. Who is that? Can you tell me who it is?
It's Advaitacharya.
గట్టిగా చెప్పమ్మా వినిపించలేకపోయినా.
Prabhuji, it's Advaitacharya.
Vaitacharya. Okay, wonderful. Now, I see that a lot of kids have sung Jeev Jago. Can somebody explain the meaning of it or just the gist of what the song is all about?
Jiva Jago is actually a song that is saying that wake up the soul and tell them that the real person and the Mahamantra is Hare Krishna and that it is the only medicine to wake up.
Yes, wonderful, Kushi. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all the kids for participating in the kids program today and all your wonderful slokas and bhajans. They are really inspiring to all of us. So we will say Jai Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai once again, and we move on to Kahoot. And before that, I actually have a 1-2 minute video. Okay.
Prabhuji,
Everybody.
is any other kids want to do any?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yes. Are there any other kids
Can
who are online who are interested to recite a sloka or sing a bhajan?
Is anyone want to do anything? Lakshay? You don't want to do? Okay.
Lakshay
We'll say
Prabhu
Jai
is super
Gauranga.
excited about Kahoot. He's always the
Okay.
top 3.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay. All right, kids. So everybody say Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai.
Jai! Jai!
Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to share my screen and just let's go through a pastime. Okay, as I said about little Nimai's footprints. Okay. Am I sharing my screen with you all?
Yeah,
Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to play.
Nimai's childhood pastimes. Nimai's wonderful footprints. One day, Sri Jagannath Mishra called out to his dear son, Vishwambar, bring my book. Nimai and his parents were outside, so the Lord quickly went inside the house. At this time, the sound of ankle bells could be distinctly heard. Jagannath Mishra inquired, where is the sound of ankle bells coming from? How extraordinary this is! Exclaimed Mother Sachi. After bringing the book, child Nimai ran off to play. When Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata went inside, they saw something that greatly surprised them. In many places on the floor, they saw wonderful footprints having various symbols such as lightning, elephant, goat, and flag. They were thrilled to see this. As they closely examined the footprints, their eyes filled with tears. While offering obeisances to the footprints, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata said, we will surely be liberated and not have to be born in this material world again. Sri Jagannath Mishra said, Mother of Vishwarup, prepare nice sweet rice with ghee. I will bathe our household deity, Sri Damodar Shila, with Panchagavya. I believe that the sound of the ankle bells that we heard came from the lotus feet of our deities as he secretly moved about the house. Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata felt great happiness as they worshipped Shaligram Shila. And as they did so, Nimai smiled within his mind. Nimai Pandit ki Jai!
Jai.
Nimai Pandit ki Jai. Wonderful. Okay, so I will move on to Kahoot now. Did you all like the small pastime or one of the little pastimes of Nimai?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, wonderful. And Tejas Krishna Prabhu, actually, what he was showing earlier was that when he was a little young, he actually colored and he drew the whole lotus feet of little Nimai. And that's what he was showing us. Okay, let's move on. We will get to Kahoot. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to show. Okay, let me get back to this. I'll stop sharing for a second because I don't want you to see the answers. Okay.
Prabhuji, now you'll have to be careful. Kids can be very sneaky.
Yeah, once my teacher sent a link for a Kahoot and I clicked the link and they figured out a way to see the answers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. You all are smart kids. But I think you don't really need to do that because you all are really smart and you remember. Okay, so
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can you increase your volume, Prabhuji? We can't hear. There are so many kids here.
okay, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, kids, I'm sharing the pin number with you all. The Kahoot pin is 2476213. And I request not just the kids, but everybody to participate in this so that we all will actually learn about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his life history. It's okay. I mean, even if you don't know, you can make some wild guesses. Okay, I see Shan Prabhu, Prasad Prabhu, Sai Lalita, Navya, Krishna, Shreya, Twisha, Lakshai, Kushi have joined. I don't know who Godly is, and I don't know who OK is. Viraj Prabhu has joined. Smooth Swan 94. Kids, I request you all to put your names so that way we all get to know who the winners are. See, Chakrika has joined. Sampada Mataji has joined. Okay, kids, shall I get started off or do you need more time? Where is Karina, by the way? Oh, there we go. She's in. Vihan Prabhu has just joined.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
That's okay. Okay, I'm going to give another 15 to 30 seconds to all those who are still trying to figure out or get your gadgets.
This is Prabhuji. This is the first time I've seen so many people. Like on this part where it says 17, that means how much people there are. And then when I saw it, I was like, what?
Yeah, not just the kids are joining, even the adults are joining, so that makes more people.
Yeah.
But well, that's good. I mean, I think we have to make sure that we have more participants in the kids classes every week, so that way there's a lot of competition. Okay, Ayana Mataji has joined. Okay, kids, I'm about to get started off, okay? And this is the time for you to tell me if you're still trying to figure out how to get on to the Kahoot. Okay, if I'm not hearing any complaints, then let's get started. And as always, let's everybody call out Jai Nimai, Jai Nitai.
Jai Nimai,
Jai Nitai.
Jai Nimai, Jai Nitai.
Jai Nimai, Jai Nitai.
Jai Nimai, Jai Nitai.
Jai Nimai, Jai Nitai.
All right, let's
Prabhuji, could you please give us 10 seconds, maybe? Just
10 seconds. Yeah, sure.
Avni joining. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure, Mataji. Okay, Avni Mataji has joined.
There are 23 participants in this meeting, so almost everyone has joined.
Okay, great. So what did Mataji, did you say that we were waiting for Avani Mataji to join, or I don't know if I missed. Oh, she's here. Okay, wonderful. Okay, awesome. Let's get started off. I see somebody dropped off. Please get back on. Okay, let's get started. Here's the first question. Who was the king of Treta Yuga? Is it Lord Nrsimhadeva, Lord Ramachandra, Lord Krishna, or Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Who was the king of Treta Yuga? I don't know if, okay, yes, the right answer is Lord Ramachandra. And we discussed about this in the last week's class. Okay, let's move on to the next question. And before that, the scoreboard that we have on the top 5 is Lakshai, Twisha, Krishna, Lalita, and Navya. Okay, let's move on to the question number 2. Who was the king of Kali Yuga? Lord Krishna, Lord Nrsimhadeva, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or Lord Ramachandra? I'm sure this should be a pretty easy answer for all of you. Yes, you almost everybody got this correct. It's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jai. Okay, let's see if there is any change in the top 5. So Lakshai dropped down and Twisha got onto the top spot. So you still have 17 more questions to completely change this top 5 bucket. So let's move on to question number 3. What does Gaura Purnima signify? Lord Ramachandra in greenish complexion was born. Lord Krishna in blackish blue complexion was born. Wow, you all got this even before I completed the option. It's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we celebrate the appearance day of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and we call it as Gaura Purnima because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in golden complexion and he was born during the full moon day. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, Sampada Mataji has just got on to the top 5. Here's question number 4. Who are the parents of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Sri Jagannath Mishra and Srimati Sachidevi, Sri Jagannath Mishra and Srimati Urmila Devi, Sri Pandita Mishra and Srimati Sachidevi, or Sri Pandita Mishra and Srimati Urmila Devi. Got 5 more seconds to go. The right answer is Sri Jagannath Mishra and Srimati Sachidevi. They are the parents of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For those who incorrectly answered, now you know what the right answer is. Okay, no problem. Let's move on. Okay, Tejas Krishna comes on to the top 5. Here's the question number 5. In which city did Mahaprabhu appear? Navadvipa, Puri, Vrindavan, or Mathura?
Prabhuji, what does Mahaprabhu mean?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In which city did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appear? The right answer is Navadvipa. Yes. So when we call Mahaprabhu, I think it was Lakshay Prabhu who was asking this question. So we refer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I think, as you all may know, there were a few names for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I think one of it would be a question for all of you. I think it would be one of the questions being asked. So we'll discuss about the different names of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Krishna, Lakshay, Sampada, Navya, and Lalita are on top 5, and Ayana has the highest streak of 5 answers, and she may get on to the top 5 anytime. Okay, here's the question number 6. Whom did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu marry? Srimati Laxmi Devi, Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi, both the above, or none of the above? Whom did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu marry? You got 5 more seconds to go. Okay, the right answer is both the above. And I see a majority of you, in fact, equally answered Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi. And I don't know if you remember from our past week's presentation that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first married Srimati Laxmi Devi. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went for preaching purposes to the eastern part of Bengal, at that time she was bitten by a snake. And so after he came back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was extremely unhappy with what has happened to his wife. And then in order to take Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in order to take care of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while he's preaching and learning about the different aspects of Sanskrit and the Smritis, his mother decided that he should get married again, and so he married Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi. So the right answer is both the above. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Lakshay, Sai Lalita, Avani, Navya, and Ayana are on top 5. Okay, let's move on to question number 7. For how many years did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in Sanyash Ashrama, renounced order of life? 12 years, 48 years, 24 years, or 16 years? For how many years did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in Sanyash Ashrama? You've got 10 more seconds. And the right answer is 24 years. And I'm sorry, the majority of you have answered it as 48 years. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived for 48 years. And within those 48 years, for 24 years, he was in Grihastha-ashrama, where he was with his family. And then after at the age of 24 years, he gave up the Grihastha-ashrama and he took the Sannyasa ashrama, and he lived for 24 years. So the right answer is 24 years. But the answer to how long did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu live on this planet, the answer to that is he disappeared after 48 years. Okay, not a problem. Now that you know the right answer, so next time when we have this quiz, you all know what the right answer would be. Okay, let's move on. Lakshay, Lalita, Navya, Avani, and Ayana are still on the top 5. So here's question number 8, which is a true or false. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was called as Nimai as he took birth under a neem tree. Is it true or false? There we go. You got this. It is true. Okay, let's move on. Question number 9. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is an incarnation of Lord Krishna in the mood of dash. Srimati Laxmi Devi, Lord Hanuman, Srimati Radharani, or none of the above? Yes, the right answer is Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared. He is an incarnation of Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Wonderful. Okay, let's move on to question number 10. What would the parents of little Nimai say in order to stop him crying? Jai Nimai, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, or Jai Jagannath? What would the parents of little Nimai say in order to stop him crying? Yes, the right answer is Hari Bol. And whenever his parents would say Hari Bol, little Nimai used to stop crying. Okay, let's move on to question number 11. In the pastime of little Nimai with the Brahman, what did Nimai do to confuse the Brahman? Danced in front of him, turned himself into a flower, turned himself into a tiger, eat the bhoga offered to Krishna. Yes, the right answer is he ate the bhoga that was offered to Krishna, and that confused the visiting Brahman. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 12. What was the name of the Bengali sweet that was offered to Nimai by the two thieves who attempted to steal his bangles? Sandesh, Gulab Jamun, Rasgulla, Rasmalai. Yes, the right answer is Sandesh. Okay, you all are getting this. Lakshay, Lalita, Navya, Krishna, and Ayana are on top 5. Okay, moving on to question number 13. At the age of 8, Nimai was admitted to a school which was ran by Jagannath Mishra, Gangadasa Pandita, Neelambara Chakravarti, or none of the above. At the age of 8, Nimai was admitted to a school which was ran by, yes, Gangadas Pandita. Wonderful. Okay, let's move on to question number 14, which is a true or false. Nimai taught himself in Smriti and Nyaya Shastras with the books in his father's library. Is it true or false? Nimai taught himself in Smriti, which means scriptures, and Nyaya Shastra. Yes, the right answer is true. He did teach, he was a self-learning student. He learned by himself. Okay, moving on to question number 15. From whom did Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu take initiation? Madhavendra Puri, Keshav Kashmiri, Ishwara Puri, or Jagannath Mishra? Who is the spiritual master of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu? In other words, yes, the right answer is Ishwara Puri is the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, moving on to the question number 16. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave instructions to Nityananda and Haridas Thakur to go and preach dash, Krishna Katha, Harinam Sankirtana, both the above or none of the above. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave instructions to Nityananda and Haridas Thakur to go and preach the fallen souls. Yes, the right answer is both the above. So Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur both preached Krishna Katha and also taught how to do the Harinam Sankirtan to the fallen souls of the age of Kali Yuga. So the right answer is both the above. Okay, moving on. Question number 17. In the pastime of Jagai and Madai, who took out the Sudarshana Chakra to kill the brothers? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also known as Gauranga, or Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Lord Vishnu, or Narad Muni? Who took out the Sudarshan Chakra to kill the brothers Jagai and Madai? Yes, it's Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's the right answer. Okay, here's the last but one question. Question number 18. How many disciples did Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had? 9, 4, 6, or 11? Okay, I see a majority of you answering 11. The right answer is 6, and we call them as Goswamis. The 6 Goswamis are the disciples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Whoever has answered it as 6, that's the right answer. And those who didn't answer, now you know what the right answer is. Okay, let's move on to the final question. Okay, and before that, let's see who the top 5 are. Sai Lalita is on the top spot. Navya, Lakshai, Ayana, and Krishna are on top 5. So let's move on if the last question would make any difference to the scoreboard. Here you go, the question number 19. Mahaprabhu wrote 8 slokas that describe the glories of the holy names of the Lord. They are called dash. Sri Isopanishad, Sri Sikshastakam, both the above or none of the above. The right answer is Sikshastakam. Wonderful. Okay, here you go. Let's put some music for the podium. Lakshai is in number 3 spot. Navya is in number 2. Number 1 spot. And the runner-ups are Ayana and Tejas Krishna. Congratulations to all of you.
Haribo!
Haribo!
To all our wonderful kids. And
Yes.
Haribo to Kartik Prabhuji. Kids, please say Haribo 3 times for Kartik Prabhuji.
Oh, not
Haribo!
Haribo!
Thank you. In fact, thanks to congratulations to each and every kid who has participated. You know, you have got the mercy of Gauranga Mahaprabhu by participating in today's quiz, and we all have learned something about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu today. So I'm praying sincerely that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blesses all of us, and may we become more closer towards the lotus feet of Krishna and take inspiration, you know, to become a pure devotee. And I congratulate each and everybody. And let's move on to the next segment of today's celebration. Sai Lalita, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay. So
My mom helped me.
your mom helped you? Oh no.
That's okay.
That's okay. You're too young.
Yeah.
But you know, I really appreciate all the kids and the parents for encouraging your kids to attend these wonderful celebrations and learning about the great personalities and the pastimes. So, Shubhalas Prabhu, are we going to move to the next segment? Or?
Prabhuji, for 2 minutes, Prabhuji said like chant Hare Krishna, then he will say Shubhalas Prabhu. He needs to. Yes.
Okay, kids.
Mataji, yeah, anybody can do.
No, are you saying Kirtan or should we do a 1 round of japa?
Prabhuji said 2 minutes, you chant Hare Krishna, then he will be ready there.
Okay.
Prabhuji, you can do Kirtan, Prabhuji. 2 minutes, you can do Kirtan also, Prabhuji. If Mataji,
I can do.
The kids will like Kirtans.
Yeah.
Everybody, put a thumbs up if you want Kartik Prabhu to do Kirtan.
You know what? Actually, hold on. Because this is a kids program, I would actually encourage the kids to do. I mean, somebody to take leadership to do the Kirtan. Okay. Let's do like, I think, Karina, maybe you have self-volunteered yourself.
Okay, Karina.
Krisha, do you want to do? Who wants to do?
I'll need to go get the kartals to do it.
Okay.
I'll go get them.
I see Ayana. Ayana is Bhamshibilas Prabhuji's daughter, I think. Ayana Jain. Yeah. She is Bhamshibilas Prabhuji's daughter. Bhamshibilas Prabhuji is our class. Yeah.
Yes. Please go ahead. Whoever is available.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai.
Thank you very much, Ayana.
Shri Gaur Purnima Mahotsav ki Jai. Gaura Chandra ki Gaura Chandra ki present physically, and for those who are present online, we request you that you will get the same benefit if you observe with that faith, with that devotion. You will get the same benefit as if you are doing it, and we are all doing it on your behalf as well, and your families and all your loved ones too. So please now chant enthusiastically and spectate this wonderful kirtan, bhajan, and mute the sound. Hare Krishna, Hare
sing together.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Gaur Chandra ki
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Chandra ki
Jai.
Gaur Chandra ki
Jai. बीच में पढ़ videos. Okay. Like 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Yeah, आगे भी Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Here we go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Okay, together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Nitai Gaur Chandra ki
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Chandra Bhagwan ki Nitai Gaur Chandra Bhagwan ki Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki One last final time Abhishek from on behalf of all our online devotees. If you really are happy we are doing it on behalf of you, give a big thumbs up. Hare Bol! Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Gaura, 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 Hare. Gaura, 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 Hare. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura, Hare. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura, Hare. Gauranga Bhagwan ki Jai. Prabhupada ki Jai. Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. So now we will have a wonderful Gaura Katha. Who all want to hear Gaura Katha? Say loudly, Gauranga! Gauranga!
Gauranga.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavari Vaskachare Satarine Om Agyanatimirandasya Gananjana Shaka Jakshudamritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Caitanya Manobishtam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Upakaranayam Dadati Swapidam Sikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttaparakama Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha. Welcome everyone to this wonderful glorious occasion of Lord Chaitanya's Utsava ki Jai. So it is by the mercy and by the guidance of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada that we have come to know anything about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he really is, and come to become recipients of His divine mercy. So because of this great good fortune, we're able to be here with you today and to share some of the divine information about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on this most wonderful occasion. Okay, I gotta switch. You watching that? I watch this. Yeah. No? So this is the most holy appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the 28th of March, 2021 in Tampa, Florida with our Diviction group. So first question you may all be wondering is, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Of course, we may have some acquaintance with him, but who is he really? So the first answer is, he is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna himself. That he is Krishna descended in the form of the devotee. And he appears because this is also the Yuga avatar. He comes in this beautiful golden form. So beautiful that people are constantly attracted to him. But he has concealed his identity as Krishna. He has appeared as the devotee, the topmost devotee of Krishna, but he has not revealed that he is actually Krishna himself. Of course, great scholars and those who are aware of the conclusion of the Vedas are aware that he is Krishna, but he did not present himself in that way. So when he comes to this world, when he comes to this planet, he doesn't come alone. He comes with all his associates, his weapons, and his paraphernalia. So his associates are like Advaita Charya, Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhar, Srivas, and so many others are there. Hundreds and thousands of devotees have joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Leelas while he was here in this planet. And his weapons, does anyone know what his weapons are? Does he use chakra in this age? Anyone know?
Mantra.
Huh?
Mantra, Maha
Maha Mantra, and he used the mridanga and the kartals to propagate the holy name of the Lord. So these are all his Leela accompaniments. And he is also known as Niyagrodha Parimandala. This term is given to a very special personality. A person who measures 4 cubits in height by his own hand measurement. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was here, we could see his form. He was over 7 feet tall. And he had a very beautiful form and a very astounding, magnetic presence amongst devotees. When he would chant and dance as he toured India, thousands of devotees would gather around him and chant. People would be so attracted, they immediately start chanting the holy name with him just because of this attractive quality. And what does he come to do? He comes to teach the highest form of bhakti rasa. So he comes to teach us how to perform bhakti yoga, and in a more deep and complete way, he teaches the highest rasa, the conjugal rasa, which was not revealed before. So this is the deepest form of bhakti, and he exhibited it and displayed it in his pastimes here, especially in Jagannath Puri. He traveled and preached all over India. He did a tour around the whole continent of India. And in this way, he spread the chanting of the holy name to all the different towns and villages. And whoever saw Lord Chaitanya and heard him chant, they became devotees. And whoever heard them chant, they also became devotees. And those who heard those persons chant, they also became devotees. So this is the nature. It's very attractive and very contagious. That when it gets this taste very quickly. So what was his activity? Constantly chanting the name of Krishna day and night. He also he participated very deeply in kirtan, but he also used to chant mantra on the beads, as we call japa. He would chant daily. Anyone know how many names of Krishna?
108.
300,000 names of Krishna daily. So this is a very significant number. I know one of my godbrothers, Sachinandana Maharaj, he often holds sessions where he chants 64 rounds. But this is so many more rounds than that. It's 3 times that, more than 3. And this is, he said it's practically impossible for us to chant so many rounds of Krishna's name, 300,000 names in a day. Krishna, Lord Chaitanya is also known as Mahavandhanaya, most merciful incarnation of Krishna. He comes simply to give Krishna. He doesn't come to chastise us in our fallen state, but simply to give us Krishna consciousness. So he's always giving mercy in so many different ways. And through his associates, those who come in his behalf, he is giving the mercy. He's giving the opportunity, just as he gave Jagai and Madhai, to come from a very fallen state, breaking all the principles of the Vedas and rise to the topmost state of love of Godhead. So this is the nature of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. And it is the associates of Lord Chaitanya has said that he is Mahavadhanaya, the most merciful incarnation. He gave by his life an example of how to live as a devotee. Daily chanting so much, participating in the Rath Yatras, not just participating, he would go and clean the Gundicha Marjana, the Gundicha temple, not once, but twice, to make sure that all the dirt and all the contamination was removed before Lord Jagannath and his Rath Yatra came to reside there. So he gave us personal example by this cleansing, the Gundicha temple, how we have to clean our heart. Not just once, but clean it again by this chanting, by this proper behavior. And then we can taste this fruit of love of Godhead. He preached this chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra in Nam Sankirtan. So he, as we said, he used to chant very deeply. He had this pastime called Veda Kirtan. So in these kirtans, he would select 8 groups. He would, so many mridanga players, so many dancers, so many persons chanting in 8 different groups. And then he would go from group to group and chant with them and inspire them. And each group thought by his Yoga Maya that he is only in my group. He is not in any other group. But actually those who were given vision by the Lord, divine vision, as Arjuna was given divine vision, they could see the Lord was simultaneously present in all 8 groups. So this is, he preached and traveled widely, chanting the Hare Krishna Nam. And in the scriptures it is said, described, that although he preached all over India, he had one Senapati Bhakta, his commander-in-chief of his Sankirtan army, who would spread this Krishna consciousness, this chanting, to all parts of the world, all parts of the planet. And does anyone know who this Senapati Bhakta is? Come on, somebody has it. Haridas Thakur, no?
His Divine Grace, Srila
He spread it to the Western countries, not just the India. So give me the answer. Come on. Srila Prabhupada, ki jai. So he's a very dear general in Lord Chaitanya's army. So again, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Well, he appeared in the village of Navadvip underneath a neem tree, and therefore he has the name of Nimai. His parents, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi, very wonderful, devoted souls. And they tasted the relationship of parental ras with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He had many childhood pastimes, which we will describe later. Right, Ananta? That's a good sign. And he took sannyas from Keshava Bharati. He took sannyas because he thought the people would not take him seriously until he took sannyas. When he took sannyas, then everyone would accept. Not just those who were favorable, but everyone would give respect and accept his teachings. He was given initiation by Ishvara Puri, the disciple of Madhavendra Puri. We recently celebrated the appearance of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was the first one to introduce this conjugal mood in devotional service, and Ishvara Puri was his disciple. So Ishvara Puri, the Lord met Ishvara Puri when he traveled to the province, to the city of Gaya, to do Pinda because his father had died. Jagannath Mishra passed away. So then he went there to form this Pinda, so offering, prasadam to the ancestors, and especially to his father. And there he met Ishvara Puri. And Ishvara Puri, the Lord would claim that he instructed him that you should simply chant his holy name. Don't study Vedanta, don't try to explain so many deep philosophical points, just chant the holy name. He had two wives, Vishnu Priya and Laxmi Priya. When the Lord went to Gaya to do the ceremony, his first wife, Laxmi Priya, felt so much separation from him, she passed away. So then his mother insisted he marry again, and he married Vishnu Priya. And after he took sannyas, she remained there with Mother Sachi, and her vow was that for every mantra she chanted, Maha Mantra, she would take 1 grain of rice and she would set that aside and cook it later and eat it. So this was her vow. That was her food. 1 grain for every mantra. So again, how is the Lord Chaitanya worshipped in this age? We worship him actually before we worship Krishna, because he is the one who's delivering us the opportunity to serve Krishna. So therefore we approach him first, so that we will be given access. If Lord Chaitanya gives us that access, then we can worship Krishna very nicely. His worship is also similar to the worship of Krishna. He is offered arti, he is given, the abhishek, he's offered the tulsi leaf, all these things. And he is worshipped most dearly and most importantly by chanting the holy names of Krishna. When we chant like that, the Lord is very pleased. So this is the best form of worship. Prabhupada said, you invite Gaur Nitai into your house, as Bipul and Mother Sujoya have done, and then you chant Hare Krishna, and they will be very happy. And you also cook for them, and so many other nice things you can do. You can bathe them daily, change their dress. And they're also worshipped he's worshipped in the Panchatattva mantra. Jai Shri Krishna, Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaur. This is the Panchatattva. It is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in 5 features. So these 5 features, of course, are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Krishna himself, Nityananda Prabhu, who is none different from Balaram, Advaita Acharya, who is Mahavishnu, Karnadakshayi Vishnu, and then we have Gadadhar, who is a form of Radharani, come in the guise of a devotee, and Srivas, who represents all the normal, regular devotees of the Lord. Lord Chaitanya is very kind because he removes all our offenses. He doesn't see our mistakes and our misdeeds. He sees only what we offer to him. And therefore, he is most kind and most dear. When you're offering and you're worshiping Krishna, there are so many rules and regulations, and if you don't follow them correctly, it will be offense and you will suffer. But with Lord Chaitanya, he sees no offense. Therefore, he is benedicting us with this opportunity to worship and gain access to the divine bhakti yoga. So the Lord performed many pastimes while he was here on the earth, extraordinary activities. And one such activity was his meeting with the Jarikanda forest, the forest animals in Jarikanda forest. So the Lord was traveling, going to Vrindavan. And on the way to Vrindavan, he had to cross through this Jarikanda forest. He had one servant with him, Balabhadra Bhattacharya, who used to carry his kamandalu, the water pot, and used to cook for him. But Lord Chaitanya would only accept shak, spinach, leafy vegetable, and roots as his food. And when he came into this forest, there were tigers, ferocious tigers, and the tigers would follow him. And Lord Chaitanya would turn to the tiger and say, chant Hare Krishna. And then in their own way as tigers, they would chant Hare Krishna and they would dance. He would say, dance now, and they would stand up and dance. Who else but Krishna can make this happen like that? And not only that, but he met the elephants, and the elephants chanted with him. Then he met the deer, and the deer followed him. And sometimes, as in the picture here, they would lick his body. They were so attracted to them. And then the tigers would follow. Now in this world, tigers are not very peaceful and friendly with deer, are they? They like to attack them and eat them. But when Lord Chaitanya was there, the tigers and deer were dancing together. And they were embracing. And Prabhupada says they were even kissing. So we cannot imagine to be that close with the tiger's mouth is a very fearful situation. But because of the influence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were acting in this way. And then all the trees and vines were ecstatic, and they were exhibiting all kinds of fruits and flowers and honey for the Lord as their offerings. All the animals and plants were very peaceful and full of devotion. So this is the extraordinary Leela of the Lord in the interaction with the forest animals in Jarikanda forest. Extraordinary. No ordinary person can do this. And then there was another pastime where he met Sanatan Goswami. Sanatan Goswami, he was actually from a Brahmin family, actually learned it in the Vedas, but when the Mohammedan governor took over, he forced him to work for him as his assistant, his immediate assistant. So by working for him, he lost his position as a Brahmin. Nobody would respect him. Now he's serving a Mohammedan ruler. He's no longer a Brahmin. So nobody respected him anymore. But when he heard of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he tried to join with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he would invite the Brahmins to his house to recite a favorite book. Anyone know what book they would recite? Srimad Bhagavatam. And he would do this every day, and he stopped going to the office. And after some time, the Mohammedan ruler came and said, Sanatan, what are you doing? I gave you a big position and you're just staying home and you're studying your holy books. And he asked him again to come to the office, but Sanatan did not go. So then he sent his guards and they captured Sanatan and they put him in the prison. Because he wasn't following the order of the ruler. So Sanatan, by his careful plans, he got released from that jail. and escaped, and he went to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And while he was traveling, he traveled also from Mathura to Puri. While he was traveling that long distance, he was not eating regularly, and he was traveling by the, not on the road, but in the different side routes in the jungle and so many other places. So while traveling like that, he got an infection on his body. He got sores all over his body, and they were oozing all kinds of terrible smelling, material. And his body was infected and it was itching. So when this happened, he felt that my body is no longer fit to serve Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So I must get rid of this body. I will go to Jagannath Puri and I throw this body under the Rath cart and commit suicide. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he heard about this plan. Because he is Supreme Lord Krishna, he knows everything in everyone's heart. So he heard about this plan and he told him, Sanatana Goswami, this body of yours, you have offered me devotional service, this body now is my possession. For me to do as I like. It is no longer your possession, so you no question of committing suicide. You have to only use it for my service. And he said, he embraced. He was Mahaprabhu. He was trying to get away from him. Mahaprabhu ran up and embraced him with all his sores. And he said, oh, my Lord, this body is so simple. I'm contaminating you. Please, please. And the Lord gave him an example. He said, like a mother or father, when the child is young, they hold the baby in the arm, no matter whether they're dirty or clean. Because there's so much love and affection. Therefore, he said, you are like my child, and I have so much love for you and for all my devotees. Therefore, I treat you as a parent would, and I embrace you, and I feel you very close to my heart. So there's no offense. And after being embraced like that, Sanatana Goswami was completely cured of all these problems with his body. So this was the Leela with Sanatana Goswami. Later, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Sanatana to go to Vrindavan and write books, which he did. He wrote some incredible books such as Brihad Bhagavatamrita. It's a summary of the 10th canto. No, it's a summary of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And he wrote also Hari Bhakti Vilas, a summary of all the activities proper for deity worship and serving the devotees. So he gave all these authoritative scriptures on the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he lived in Vrindavan, and he became so dear to the people of Vrindavan that he used to know them all by name. And we know their sons and daughters, and who was married, who was getting married, and who was having a nice young baby. And he would inquire from them, how is your family? How are your children? Just as a grandfather might inquire. Although he was a great devotee, he would still spend so much time inquiring about their welfare. So there was several other pastimes I wanted to mention. One I began to mention was this Veda Kirtan, where he was performing kirtan with groups of devotees, and he would select the devotees. He would say, Nityananda Prabhu, you're dancing in this group. And Advaita Acharya, you dance in this group. And Haridas, you dance in that group. And this one, you're the singer. Like Virkeshwar Pandit, very beautiful voice. And he would have other ones who would play the mridangas. And then the rest of the devotees would chant with them. They would form a whole circle. And then Lord Chaitanya would visit each group of the 8 groups of devotees. And each one would think, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is only in my group. And he would dance and he would chant and so an ecstatic symptom. And they would think he's only in my group. But to only a handful of devotees, he was revealing that actually he was simultaneously present in all 8 groups. And this is his divine Leela. Who else can do this? So this was an ecstatic experience for all the devotees. After he finished with the kirtans, the Lord was very tired. in his Leela, and he went back to his room in the Gambhira, where he stayed, a small room with only one door. And he lied down in such a way to rest that he blocked the entrance. No one could get in or out. So the Lord had one servant there, Govinda Das. And this Govinda was assigned to help the Lord. He would massage his feet, he would prepare his prasadam, he would do all those important duties for the Lord. So Lord was resting, blocking the path. He could not get in to do his service, to massage the Lord's lotus feet and his legs. So it's considered an offense to step over the body of a Vaishnava, what to step over the form of the Lord, right? That's an offense. But he felt, I must step over to do my service. So he did that. He went in and stepped over the body of the Lord and massaged him. And when he was finished, he sat there. He wouldn't come out. And finally, Lord Chaitanya woke up and he said, Govinda, how did you come in? I was sleeping here. He said, I had to step over you, my Lord. And he said, why did you not go out and go get prasadam? He said, no, I cannot commit offense by stepping over your divine form. He said, Govinda, this doesn't sound right. You step in for one reason and you won't step over me for again, second time. He said, my Lord, for service, I will commit offense. But for my personal sense gratification, I cannot commit any offense. So for him to even accept prasadam, he wouldn't commit such an offense. But to serve the Lord, he was willing to step over all these rules. And whatever suffering may be there, to serve the Lord, he would accept it. So these are some of the divine leelas of the Lord. And very instructive. How we can serve the Lord, and how we can chant for the Lord, and how he will join with us in the chanting of the holy names. So by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we are again allowed to participate in the divine leela, the pastimes of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, because his pastimes continue. And they're continued here, even in the Western countries. Like Prabhupada, one time he visited Gainesville, Florida, where we were having our first temple in Florida. And Prabhupada in his lecture, he said, I have come here in this very remote corner of the world, so far from the holy Dham of Mayapur. So he was saying that this is the far outreach, the farthest in the world we can go, so far from Mayapur. And yet he's come here to preach, to preach on the behalf of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are part of those activities. This all today is part of that Leela of the Lord. And we are allowed by his mercy to participate. So I will stop here and ask if anyone has any questions. A couple of questions is okay. Or any additions, comments? These pastimes of the Lord are all given in this book, as I'm showing here, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, which today is the last day they're available. You can get a full set of these books about the Leela of the Lord for only $99 by the arrangement of Shubha Vilas Govinda Prabhu. So if anyone would like, please write here. They will write directly to Shubha Vilas Prabhu so that he can provide these to you. He will have them shipped direct to your home. So they're finishing the offering of the boga to the Lord.
Not yet.
Huh?
Not yet. It will take some time, Prabhuji.
No, you're offering, right?
No. These are not yet ready.
Anyway, they have prepared many preparations for the Lord. Some places prepare 54 offerings. Some places Lord is worshipped with 108 offerings, and some places with 1,008 offerings. So I would conclude here of this particular presentation, and I would ask my good wife Anantadasi to come, and she will enliven us by telling us some of the pastimes, some more pastimes from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Divine Leela. Please come.
Are there any questions online for you?
Huh?
Are there any questions online for you?
Was there anything online, questions, chat? I don't think so. I didn't see any pop up. Everyone is just so ecstatic that nobody wants to ask any questions. Hare Krishna Mata. So good to see you all.
She has a question.
Oh. You have to speak loudly so I can hear you.
Yes, but I can come close. So how can we increase the taste for chanting Hare Krishna?
What is it?
How can we increase the taste for chanting Hare Krishna mantra?
How can you increase the taste for chanting Hare Krishna? Well, of course, the taste comes when we chant without offense. There are 10 offenses, which I will not enumerate right here, but we'll cover them very soon. I think Sri Vilas will give them in his class soon. And we avoid the offenses, and then as we chant, there's one main result of the chanting. You know what that main result is? More chanting.
Haribo.
Because when one gets a taste for chanting the holy names, he wants to chant more and more. So therefore Krishna says, Kirtaniya Sadahari, always chanting my glories. If you are having some relishable food stuff, you don't just have one bite, you eat and eat so many things, you know. Like yesterday, we attended a ceremony of Vyas Puja for my god brother Virabhava Prabhu. And one of the preparations was a beautiful pizza. So everyone got one piece, but that wasn't enough. They wanted more and more. So is that okay?
Yes, thank you. Connecting with Prashadam, it makes it easy to understand.
So Shubha, how much more time do we have for class?
You can take up to a half an hour.
Gaur Purnima is done?
You have to take your mask down. Sorry. You want this pillow or no?
Hare Krishna.
Introduce yourself.
I'm Ananta Dasi, for Srila Prabhupada disciple, as is Ramia here. We've been devotees for over 40 years. We live in Laxmi, Florida. So, okay. So first of all, Ramia was talking about the Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's so many books about Lord Chaitanya. There's a Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's a Chaitanya Bhagavat, there's a Chaitanya Charita, there's a Chaitanya Mangala, and there are others also. So the question would be, why does Srila Prabhupada decide to translate the Chaitanya Charitamrita? If you look at the first, it's divided into 3 parts. There's the Adi Kanda, Madhya Kanda.
Adi Leela.
Oh, that's right, the Kanda of the Lord. Adi Leela, Madhya Leela, and Antya Leela. So there were the 3 divisions of Lord Chaitanya's life. And so if you look at the Adi Leela, if you look at the Adi Leela, it talks a lot about the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya. Who is Lord Chaitanya? Who is Lord Nityananda? Who is Advaitacharya? And who is the spiritual master? And all the different philosophical questions. So my opinion is Prabhupada did the Chaitanya Charitamrita first because of all the philosophy behind it. Also the whole section about Rupa Goswami, Lord Chaitanya talking to Rupa Goswami and giving him inspiration to make what we call the Nectar Ocean. It was all philosophy, which was very important to establish ISKCON. So we have these other books too. We have the Chaitanya Bhagavat, which Srila Bhaktisiddhanta has made some very nice commentaries on, and the Chaitanya Mangala. So I'm going to be reading parts of the Chaitanya Mangala. So originally the Chaitanya Mangala, which was written by Lochan Das, was called the Chaitanya Bhagavat, but the devotees at that time got together, and because there was also already one, they changed this name to Chaitanya Mangala, and Chaitanya Bhagavat became the book, the name of the book that Vrindavan Das Thakur translated. So that's a very poetic book. It's in poetry, but our English translation is not in poetry. And it describes a lot of the rasas and feelings of why you would love Lord Chaitanya. And Jaipataka Maharaj has made his own book, and he calls it Gauranga. So I'm going to be reading that, which has a lot of amazing pastimes of Lord Chaitanya, especially as a child. I find the childhood pastimes very amazing. One thing you might not know about Lord Chaitanya is that when he was first born, he wasn't recognized as Krishna, as God. He was just a very adorable child that everyone was attracted to. There were not very many Vaishnavas in Navadvip at that time. Most of the people were very materialistic, but all the Vaishnavas used to travel and go to Dvaitacharya's house and gather there and talk about Krishna. And Vishwarup, who was Lord Chaitanya's brother, older brother, would also go there and talk and have talks with Dvaitacharya. And Mother Sachi would call over them. We actually sent Nimai over to Advaitacharya's to pick up his brother and tell him, come on, it's time to eat lunch. And he was just a little toddler, and he was completely naked, and he would run in and tell his brother to come, and everybody would stop and stare at him because he looked so beautiful. And they didn't realize he was Krishna, and their eyes would just follow him as he came in the room and left the room. So when he was an older child, he wanted to study, but his father was afraid that he would take sannyas, as Vishwarup, his older brother, had done. So they said, no, you can't learn anything. You'll just stay home. So he got very upset about that. And I might be reading pastimes about what he did just to get his father to say, okay, we have to get this child educated. He's acting crazy. So for a while, Nimai was known just as a scholar, and he became a very brilliant scholar. He was so brilliant that the people who were devotees, when they'd see him on the street, they knew, oh, he's going to stop and argue with me, and he's going to show me how superior his intelligence is. I don't want to hear it. I just wanted to chant Hare Krishna. So they would go to the other side of the street. They would avoid talking to him. So later on, after he went to Gaya, he was introduced to his spiritual master, and he became the greatest Vaishnava. And he even told one of his devotees earlier, when he was still in his studying stage, that I will become the greatest devotee. And all they ever thought was, boy, this guy's so puffed up. But anyways, and then the other part, so then he started his Sankirtan movement, and he started first by having kirtan in Srivasa's house, and that went on for 1 year. And then gradually went out all over Navadvip and taught everyone to chant Hare Krishna. And he would send out his devotees as preachers, and they would come and tell him every day who they had talked to and how they had helped them become a devotee. Later, Lord Chaitanya takes sannyas, and he lives in Jagannath Puri. So we're going to be reading a few things from the Chaitanya Mangala about when he was a child. This was when he was very young, and he was still just crawling. So this is from Jaipataka Maharaj's book. He was crawling around in the courtyard of Mother Sachi and Jagannath Mishra. At that time, Jagannath Mishra was sleeping in the room next to them. And Mother Sachi had Lord Chaitanya on her lap, and she was on the veranda. Just then, the whole courtyard filled up with dozens from the higher planets. Some had special armor. Some had 2 heads. They were very beautifully decorated, and with them were Brahmins. Mother Sachi tried to call to her husband. She wanted it. She couldn't move. She opened her mouth to scream, but it was a silent scream. No noise came out. She was stunned. Then the demigods took Lord Chaitanya from her lap, placed him on a golden table, and on the table there was a jeweled throne, and they placed Nimai there. And all the celestial beings began chanting mantras, and some priests came, and they performed an abhishek, just like we did here. Everybody was coming and bathing the Lord with milk and yogurt. It was a complete abhishek, and the Lord was enjoying it very much. On Gaur Purnima, we do that Abhishek, but Lord Chaitanya is fully grown, but they were doing it to a small child. Mother Sachi was watching and she was amazed. After the Devas bathed the Lord and washed him and dried him, they put him down on the veranda. And as he was walking, every step, there was a ching sound of ankle bells. Ching, ching, ching. And he turned around and told them to chant Hare Krishna and dance. Mother Sachi was looking and she saw no ankle bells on Lord Chaitanya, although she could hear the sound. She was noticing so many amazing things that were going on. But then Lord Chaitanya, baby Nimai, came over to the other side of the house and he told the Devas, chant Hare Krishna. So all the Devas started to have a big kirtan. They all started to dance and Lord Chaitanya was dancing and they were chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. All the Devas were dancing and having a big kirtan. And little Nimai, who normally could hardly walk, now suddenly started dancing and kicking his feet and dancing in the kirtan and raising his hands. And the kirtan became ecstatic. And when Mother Sachi saw all this, she was so overwhelmed that she fainted. She hit the ground. Mother Sachi was so amazed to see all these extraterrestrial beings chanting and dancing. Jagannath Mishra heard her falling and came in. Sachi, Sachi, is everything all right? Mother Sachi woke up and she looked around and little Nimai was in the courtyard crawling in the sun and she started crying, Sachi, Sachi. And Lord and Jagannath Mishra came over and said, what's wrong? What can I do? What's happening? Why are you crying? And Mother Sachi explained everything she saw. But then she looked around and everything was normal. There was no one there. There was no yogurt that had been spilled. There was no milk. It was all dry. It didn't look like anybody had been there. Maybe you just had a dream, said Jagannath Mishra. While they were discussing it, they heard the sound, ching, 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 and they looked, and it was coming from Nimai's feet, but there were no ankle bells there. He had no ankle bells on his feet. Of course, the celestial beings had come and gone, and normally they're invisible to us, so if they want to clean the mess after themselves very quickly, they could do that every day. There's amazing things that would happen. This is a pastime you might recall someone else. What incarnation of Krishna wanted the moon? Who knows who wanted the moon?
Everyone knows this one.
Who wanted the moon? Anyone know what incarnation of
What
Krishna?
avatar of Krishna used to ask his mother, please give me the moon.
Nobody knows? That was Ramachandra.
Lord Ram.
Lord Ram. And his mothers were pretty smart and they gave him a mirror and he was satisfied.
Yeah, the mother gave him a mirror.
Said, here's the moon. One day, Mother Sachi was carrying a little baby Nimai and he started to cry. She said, stop crying and I will give you whatever you want. He said, you'll give me whatever I want? And she said, yes, I will give you whatever you want. At that time, it was almost a full moon and the moon was shining and the sky was already dark. Little Nina said, I want the moon. Give me the moon. Sometimes the full moon looks like looks like you can just almost reach it. Maybe for a child, they think it's possible that you could grab it like a mango. But of course, you can't catch the moon. And he said, you promised to give me anything and I want the moon. And he started crying. So Mother Sachi was a fix. What could she do? All of a sudden, a cloud covered the moon. Didn't you see? Your face is more beautiful than millions of moons. And even the moon is ashamed to be in your presence. So why do you want such an ordinary moon, which has even got marks on its face, with your blemishless face is more beautiful? So the moon is hiding. So the Lord, he was satisfied. He had a wonderful time with his parents, making their life always very interesting. Who knows the story about the thieves? The thieves?
The thieves.
People who came and stole. What did they steal?
They tried to steal his bangles.
Yeah, they stole him, right? And his bangles. So we'll read this. One time, Lord Chaitanya was walking outside when two thieves saw him. They said to each other, look, it's just like a child, a little child. He's got gold ornaments. He must be worth thousands of rupees. He must be rich. Let's go. They spoke to Nimai. Where are your uncles? And we have come to give you sweetmeats. Sanyash, Raskulas. Nimai said, oh, I like sweets. And the thieves replied, well, come with us. We'll take you to the sweet shop. So the two men took Nimai on their shoulders and walked up. Little baby Gauranga was happy, silently looking around. They were thinking, money is the honey. We're going to be rich. We'll take this child and hide and steal his gold. They went all through the town. At that time, Navadvip was a very busy town, maybe 1 million people or so. Wow. So it was very busy, biggest city in Eastern India. So away from the neighborhood, they entered a big street and they were taking Nimai on their shoulder. And he was enjoying the ride as they were going along and heading towards their hideout. Nimai said, where are my sweets? He said, I was going to get me some sweets. So they stopped in the shop and they did buy him some sweets. And rasgulla and chum chum, very sweet. As he was eating sweets, they said, we'll take you home. But they were thinking of taking him to the hideout. They walked on, and in their minds, they saw the hideout. And they thought, here, we'll steal the ornaments from the child. So they put Lord Chaitanya down. But as soon as Lord Chaitanya was down, the whole vision changed. They saw that in reality, they were at his house. They were right in front of Nimai's house. Jagannath Mishra and Sachimata had heard that some strangers had walked off with their child, and you can imagine what they were feeling. They were looking everywhere. The whole neighborhood was running around looking for them. Then little Nimai ran to his father and cried out. And the father cried, oh, Nimai, where were you? We're so worried about you. Jagannath Mishra was so happy to see Nimai again, and he wanted to reward the nice gentleman who had returned his child. They thought that they must have found him roaming around, but the thieves were afraid because they were guilty and their hearts were not clean. They thought, we're going to be captured. We're going to get caught. The king's men will hang us or something. So they ran away as fast as they could. Jagannath Mishra was looking and thinking, what's wrong with them? Why are they running away? He didn't know they had stolen all his ornaments. He thought that they had stolen his ornaments. He thought they were coming to brought his nice child back. The thieves hid in an orchard and looked back, but nobody has found them. Oh, Chandi, oh, Devi, you have saved us. You have saved us from certain capture. The thieves worship Chandi, who is one of the forms of Durga. After this, Jagannath Mishra became more concerned about how to ensure his son would grow up properly, and he would be careful about guiding his little boy. Every day, little Nimai were having fun with so many people. He was playing like a baby, but actually, he was in control of the whole situation, making various dramatic situations to enjoy. In this way, Lord Chaitanya was blessing everyone with his blissful childhood pastimes. And we'll stop there.
That's it. We can stop now.
Jai, Hare Krishna.
We have a special thing. And Kushi and Subrat Prabhu, our dear congregation members, sit here.
This is in the chair?
Yeah. They're putting Kushi on spot.
Have to take your mask off. Everyone can see you.
Can you hear her? Give a thumbs up if you can hear.
I can hear.
Okay. So, Kushi has memorized the 50 most important verses of Bhagavad-Gita. She's from here.
Oh, that.
Yeah. So Kushi has memorized 50 most important verses of Bhagavad-Gita. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
If you think it's Do you want to share a few of your most favorite or the ones you like the most? Just any.
The most favorite one I like is Najayate. Najayate muyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavitavana puya ajo nitya shashvitoyam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire.
Very nice. Do you want to share the meaning of this one?
So the soul cannot be ever killed, burned. It's always alive. It just can't be killed, burned, and like cut by weapons.
It's very nice. Ramya Prabhu, you want to take an exam for top 50 verses? She'll answer any verse you ask, right? Most likely. Ask any most common verse and she'll answer.
You know the one that starts out with Kritanaya, Sadhana?
परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे.
Sarva Dharma. In the 18th chapter.
I think I forgot that one.
Sarvadharman Parityaja.
Yeah, I forgot that.
No worries. That's right. What about the one which we should offer a flower, a leaf, or something to Krishna?
Patram.
Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachati tadam bhakti upaharatam asnami prayatatnamaha.
So what is the first verse of Bhagavad-Gita?
Dhritarashtravacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta mamaka pandavascheva kema kurvata sanjaya.
Very good.
Haribo.
So everyone can see we have a special certificate for Kushi because she's been able to memorize these verses.
He's able, successfully able to complete the top
She's
50.
actually the
Get
first one.
You're receiving
And
this.
here we go, recognition.
Show your certificate to everyone. Who all, amongst all the devotees seeing it or watching it face to face, who all want the certificate of learning the top 50 verses of Bhagavad-Gita? Raise your hand if you want that. Kushi has done that. And actually Kushi and Subrat Prabhu and Mataji are going to India in just 2 weeks, and it's kind of a bittersweet for us, although we really want them to be here, but what to do? Krishna is calling them there also to take care of their, some roles and responsibilities. So we wish you all a very happy Krishna conscious stay in India. Bhakti we can practice anywhere and everywhere, whether in India or US or Orissa or Bengal. So I'm sure that going over there will be more and more and more Krishna conscious for you, and all our prayers and good wishes are with you. We will really miss you, but you will always be in our hearts, Prabhuji, Mataji, and Kushi. Thank
And
you.
you're welcome to join the Zoom sessions.
Now, Gigi, Prabhuji, the Indian timing, that was the morning, and evening.
Yes.
And then, so you're coming back or no? A safe journey, and I hope you have wonderful experiences there. You have friends there already?
I only have like one or two, and that's with their cousin.
You'll soon have more friends.
And also we are so happy to see Ranjana Mataji and Ashwin Prabhu after a long time. Hare! And our dear Bankim Prabhu. Hare! How about Sudhir Prabhu? Hare! How about Sri Rama Prabhu? Hare! And Kuldeep Prabhu? And Sharanya Mataji? And our Grace Adanta Mataji? How about Renuka Mataji? How about Binu Mataji? If you are really, really happy to see these wonderful devotees, then loudly! Bhaja Gaurango, Kaha Gaurango, Laha Gaurangira Namare. Hey, follow! Kaha Gaurango, Laha Gaurangira Namare. Hey, Bhaja Gaurango, Kaha Gaurango, Laha Gaurangira Namare. Hey, Bhaja Gaurango, Kaha Gaurango, Laha Gaurangira. Je jana Gauranga bhaje se amar pran re. Je jana Gauranga bhaje se amar pran re. Hey, bhaj Gaurango, kaha Gaurango, laha Gaurangira namare. Hey, bhaj Gaurango, kaha Gaurango, Laha Gaurangira Namare.
we're very shortly going to open the wonderful darshan of Shri Shri DOyal Nitai Gaur Chandra. And if you look in the sky, the moon has risen, the moon of Shri Gaur Purnima has risen. Hare Hare Bol! Shri Gaur Purnima Mahamotsav ki! Shri Gaur Purnima Mahamotsav ki! Now we'll say Gauranga and Nityananda, and everyone has to dance. Who will dance when we say Gauranga and Nityananda? We'll all dance. Prabhujis will say Gauranga, and Mataji's will say Nityananda. Let's see who wins. Gauranga! 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 We were all waiting for, and that's what the darshan of DOyal Nitai Gaur Hare is going to open for everyone. DOyal Nitai Gaur Chandra ki, DOyal Nitai Gaur Chandra ki, DOyal Nitai Gaur Chandra ki. Everyone ready? 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 Are you really ready? Say loudly. Gauranga! Gauranga! Chandra
Jaya Radha
Vishnu Pad Paramamsa Prabhajakacharya Satara Shri Mahad Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Ananti Goti Vaishnavrinda Ki
Jai.
Stand Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Prem Sigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki
Jai.
Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Cham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki
Jai.
Shri Vrindavan Mathura Dham Ki Shri Navati Dham Ki
Jai.
Govardhan Ki
Jai.
Govardhan Ki
Jai.
Gangamayi Ki
Jai.
Gangamayi Ki
Jai.
Bhakti Devi Ki
Jai.
Bhakti Devi Maharani Ki Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Appearance Day Ki
Jai. 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 Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. So now we will say our dear thank you so much to all the worshipful devotees who joined either in person or through Zoom. So let's, if you really like the program hosted by Bipul Prabhuji and Chaitanya Mataji, loudly say Gauranga! Gauranga! We are so grateful to Bipul Prabhuji and Chaitanya Mataji for hosting this program.
Hare Bol.
And we are also so grateful
Hare Bol.
for all the wonderful devotees present on the call, on the Zoom or Facebook or YouTube or any way you are hearing or you will be hearing. We are very grateful to all of you for taking out your precious time on this day of Gaur Purnima. Krishna, he is the king of Kali Yuga. So, he will certainly bestow unlimited mercy upon all of us by when we chant and dance in the names of Lord. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Gaur Purnima.
Prabhu, where is Mahaprasadam for all of us? We will ask to bring.
I will give you.
Gauranga.
Gauranga.
Thank you so much, dear worshipful devotees. So we will pause here. We'll end the program here. I hope you all relished it. Thank you again. People.